Hey, um, the news is just crazy. Let me get off this page here. I hate really talking, but these people are insane. Okay, I hope you could see that. Here, I'll try to make it a little bigger. Um, so much questions about Bitcoin Cash. Uh, if you own Bitcoin Cash, even on your paper wallet that's under your bed in the safe at your neighbor's, you have every fork. Okay, every fork. As long as you have that key, you don't need any electronics. It's EMP proof. Don't listen to any of this stuff. It's all bullshit. Um, the truth is, if you're an investor or whatnot, stay tuned. Everybody else, this is probably a good video just to get off because it's going to be a little confusing. I'll try to keep it simple though. You have 100 Bitcoin, you have 100 Bitcoin Cash. Both. No one sold any Bitcoin Cash. There's two schools of thought that we've been going through for 2 years. Small blockers and big blockers. Anyone who has a business, has Bitcoin, miners, they all want big blocks because it works. And it works for 1 penny, zero. You can do zero. Bitcoin Cash just had its fork yesterday. Not fork. We have forks 4 or 5 times a year. Fork doesn't mean a new coin. That unless they break the rules, and then you have what's called a contentious court fork, where nothing inflates. You just have a clone. You still have, even with 2 coins, the math still works out perfect. Still 21 million Bitcoin. But instead, let's say you have 1 Bitcoin, but now you'd have 2 Bitcoin with 42 million shares outstanding, or it's actually 21 quadrillion, but right now we still deal in Bitcoins, the big number. So that being said, the fighting got so bad 6 months ago, 7 months, they had what's called the New York Agreement. I am really paraphrasing for time. They went to New York, talked to the core developers from Core. It was just one of the many development groups, but we want big blocks. The miners. Okay, anyone who owns a business and knows economics at all, catch this point very clearly. This is undisputed. All the fees, like right now they have what, $10 fees per transaction. You know where all those fees go? To the miners. You know what the miners want? Bigger blocks. I'm going to talk real slowly so that sets in. The ones actually receiving the money see that it's so bad to congest the network that they made an agreement to support SegWit 2x just to get double the memory size. They did a deal. And then Core said, okay, but we did not want to shake the market. So give us SegWit today first. And then like 6 months, we'll get the 2 mega block increase. Jihan, after that, started listening to Luke and them just talking on Reddit, and we were saying that they'll never go with a bigger block. And then when he went to talk to him, basically it was a soft promise. He's the one that makes all the ASIC chips in China. Not all, don't get me wrong, but most, So he saw it as a lie, So as a backup plan, they went back to the Satoshi paper, which was 8 megabytes people don't notice the 1 megabyte was put in there later. It's actually not the original at all anyway. But now, to be fair, everybody had Bitcoin also got 1 Bitcoin Cash. So it cost zero, nothing. If it's worth $2, you just made $2 in profit. And at the exact same time, each one of them stood by their promise to support SegWit 2x until the fork. See, the language gets really, the other side doesn't give a flying toot, but Roger Ver, ABC, all of them just stuck to, we said we're going to do that. We want 2 more than we want 1. And then a couple of weeks ago, Core put out a thing, no replay protection. In other words, you don't each get a coin. We're going to make it a hell. And we're not going to give you the 2 megabyte that we agreed upon. So anyways, that happened, 2 days ago? They officially came out. No supporters, You also have, these are all, imagine for the people that we've been around for a long time. We have thick skin, let's put it that way. But no one, every news channel was saying it was stupid, dumb. So these are the people we're talking about. These are the ones that own the large portion of Bitcoin, period. That's the way it is. So, but they are people of their word, and you won't find any of them saying, hey, they're stupid or they're dumb. Not go ahead and post a video of it, not a rumor of a rumor. But I cannot turn on any media without going, the one that got me to do this today is these guys are bad actors. I don't even know what the hell that means. That is just, what are they talking about? Core stated 2 megabytes wouldn't work, obviously. We now have 8 as the smallest. It's adjustable, so you can't get lower than 8 megabytes. And we, after SegWit 2x, they said no. It basically fell through. They said screw it. The ones that left are switching their companies, their miners, to Bitcoin Cash. And so you saw it go up to literally $1,000. Actually, it went up above it. It's above $1,000. Some interesting facts. Bitcoin Cash, meanwhile, has successfully created and done atomic swaps. They fork perfectly, because what happened is, if you ever want to see when it's going to go up or down, all you do is look at this coin dance, right? Anytime the algorithms are competing to make it more profitable, so each time the algorithm adjusts and it goes above the parity, it's probably refreshing. Let me refresh this. Okay, this is a bigger one. Okay, so you can see, if we trace these dates, I'll tell you the next time Bitcoin Cash is going to go up. This is profitable to mine. Not profitable. The algorithm is always adjusting. And now with the new code, they're making it not adjust every day-ish, but every 600 seconds, every 10 minutes at a smaller increment. So you don't get quite this cyclical. But it got to the point where it was 286 times. It was over 100% more profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash, which is not good for either fork, but it certainly, all the miners left old Bitcoin and came over and did that. Meanwhile, there's a set of miners there on Bitcoin Cash always. So every transaction, okay, I keep talking, not showing. I was just trying to give you a background. It's really bothersome to me. I'll go to different sites so you don't think it's okay. Here's fork.io BTC. Whenever this number, the green number, means it's slightly more profitable that day or hour to do that one. So with the new algorithm that Cash put out, it's going for parity and staying with parity. Now, what throws it off at any time is if the price goes up. Like Bitcoin for a month was just going up. So even if the difficulty went up 7%, if the Bitcoin price went up 10%, it's still profitable to mine it. But if it ever has a downturn, then the reverse would be a problem more for them because they adjust every 10 days. So what you saw is you couldn't trade Bitcoin. I have over the weekend, it was just so clogged up. Here, let's just go to it so I don't feel like I'm bullshitting you guys. Okay, so anyways, I know. Let's go to something easier to read here. Let's do mempool. Wait, let's do the mempool even right now. Okay, here's core. You can see that. I'll do 2 hours so you can see. I mean, this is why it's not going to work. Let me explain what these are blocks. See all the check marks? If you said you accidentally put a fee of $5, fucking $5. Let's say this represents $5. You can do the color. These are Satoshis. This guy's, all these people's transactions just never go through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's full. Right now. Here, let's go 2 hour. I mean, you pick a number. You go here yourself if you think this is not real or this is not okay. You know, okay, so here's your settlement layer. Now you just push this button here. Let's check on cash. We'll do 2 hours. Every transaction, every customer get zero. See, 0 to 5. These guys still got taken care of by paying 0. You can, what's coming back is there's huge companies, not just in Japan and the US, that they have an app where you text money to each other. That literally got put on hold with, we're talking over between the two, 10 million users already. And they're, okay, we want to put this, okay, we can put this on now, okay? So BitPay, exchanges, everything is clogged up with fees, just so you know. How do you do an exchange? Even with the $50 or $10 fee, if it doesn't get in the block, what price on the exchange would you get? The one at that moment or an hour from now when it goes through? And it costs, you know, let's just say it costs $10. You can't buy a pizza. You can't go. I mean, it would make no sense. Okay, so that's why. But market manipulation, they're saying so much money came in on Saturday, yesterday, or the day before. That was as soon as the agreement was officially gone. So they could now go to the big blocks. You see, the problem is they made a promise. I mean, this world, you don't have to keep your promise, but they know in the world to come, it's all going to be about reputation management. That's why I put all these videos on, just for reputation management going forward. Even though they're cheesy and whatnot, they're still accepted as a timestamp. You know, instead of saying like charters, it will go up unless it goes down. You know, double talk, that doesn't count going forward. There's no credibility, or to me, that's not credibility. That's stupid. So anyways, right now, if you do, like you said, and never, ever sell, you know, it should just be somewhat seasoned investors here. This is, everything I'm saying is just my opinion. From this point on, it's all satire. But let's say you had $1 million in Bitcoin. Old. You still don't want to sell even one. You can literally get $1 million in cash sent to your ACH or your bank, and now you have $1 million and you have your Bitcoin. It goes up, you down, you still have that. If it goes down, you might get what's called a margin call. But that's just a loan. And since it's a collateralized loan and interest rates are 0%, it's 6% a year, tax free. And then if Bitcoin goes to 3,000, you get another 500,000. The next day, there's no committees. It's also, smart contracts. There's a guy on the other side going, I want 5% interest. And I want it to be secured. So it goes into escrow, basically. And, if it goes down 20%, you do last in, first out, last in, first out. So if it does sell some off, it's always the loss, because if you margin on the way up, say 2-1, you're buying at an ever higher price. So, not saying I didn't do that. 50% I thought would be good of the margin. You get 2-1. But now here's an idea: instead of selling either one, take the margin from old Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin Cash, or 30% margin if you don't want ever have a margin call. I would like to say 2-1, so math is easy, or 50% is actually. So as Bitcoin goes up each day, your collateral goes up. Like just the exact same thing as a house. You buy a house for $100,000, it goes to $200,000. Well, first of all, when you buy a house, that is margin. If someone buys a $100,000 house, I don't know how that, and puts down $10,000, they're getting 10-1 margin, or 10 times. So if the house goes up 10%, really their money went up 100%. Their equity, the cash they put in, 10-1 ratio. Okay, that was probably confusing. But if anyone who ever trades stocks, we all have 2-1 margin. I mean, that's like the most conservative one. All right, I guess I gotta go. How you doing?
All right.
Let me see how I can pause this thing.
What are you pausing? Discord?